But thank you for the invitation to talk about the Irish Plant Phenotyping Network. My name is Saoirse Tracy, and I'm from University College Dublin in Ireland. So just to give you a bit of background on the Irish Plant Phenotyping Network, we call ourselves PPN Ireland. It was formally established in June 2016. Here is a list of the committee members. So I'm the chair from UCD. We have Professor Jennifer McElwain, who used to be at UCD, now is at Trinity College Dublin. Then we have John Spink from Teagasc. Teagasc is a agriculture and food development authority that's funded directly by the Irish government. And we have other researchers from across Ireland. The members of the PPN Ireland are spread all across the island of Ireland. So we've got universities in Galway, Maynooth, University College Cork, Teagasc again, Trinity, and we have reps from the research councils involved. We're very aware that you need to have very multidisciplinary groups, so we have computer scientists, mathematicians. We want to get as many different disciplines into the network as well as members from government, industry, research councils. Some key themes that are of particular interest for Irish plant phenotypers is firstly grass and fodder, so growing plants to feed animals. This is our biggest crop that we grow in Ireland. Forestry is a key industry in Ireland as well. So I don't know how to get rid of this. I'm not going to press it in case it does anything. Forestry is a key area. Cereal crops, the tillage sector is important in Ireland. We also have a large horticultural sector growing mainly potatoes and tomatoes. Teagasc has a plant potato phenotyping platform. Due to our unique climate, we have issues with plant disease, especially in cereal crops, so plant pathology, we have lots of groups working on that, and plant-to-soil interactions as well. Just to give you some examples of some projects we have in Ireland, the first one is called Vicky. So this is the Virtual Irish Centre for Crop Improvement. It's a collaboration of several Irish universities. So you can see the list down here, which all of these are members of the PPN network as well. It's also in collaboration with groups in the UK as well. So the aim of Vicky is to bring together Ireland's leading crop and plant scientists to answer some of the important challenges that we have for Irish tillage and forage agriculture. So it's using populations. We have the magic population of wheat from NIAB, as well as barley populations from the James Sutton Institute. And we're looking at we have six crops, trying to answer 4 of the key challenges we have for Irish agriculture. So we have lots of large-scale field trials. Because agriculture is such an important aspect of the Irish economy, we have plenty of space to do the field trials. The 4 areas that Vicky is trying to work on is firstly nutrient use efficiency, so looking at the germplasm to try and pinpoint cultivars with really good nutrient use efficiency. Disease resistance is always going to be a key interest for the Irish Plant Phenotyping Network, specifically Septoria and Fusarium head blight. So identifying genes that are resistant to those 2 diseases will be key. We have lots of groups working on endophytes and biostimulants and potential impacts they have for priming the plant to avoid or to cope with a disease infection much better. Abiotic stress tolerance is a key challenge for Irish agriculture. Low temperatures and waterlogging are the 2 main abiotic stresses we face in Ireland. So looking at varieties that are tolerant to those 2 in particularly. Ireland is very self-sufficient in terms of food security, and one area the Irish government is really trying to work on is import replacement. So beans, the Irish government are encouraging more legumes to be grown to try and avoid imports of soya, so to feed our animals with Irish-grown beans. However, they're not reaching their yield potential. This might be a root to soil interaction effect we have. We also import 550,000 tonnes of potatoes, so we're trying to just avoid all of these imports, so have more in-house grown crops. One area we're probably not really interested in is the area of rain-out shelters. If anything, we have too much rain, so looking at waterlogging tolerance in barley. So barley is an important crop in Ireland for the brewing and distillery industry, but also for animal feed as well. So we have large-scale crop trials looking at waterlogging influences. There's some detail there, but really these are quite difficult experiments to carry out. It involves waterlogging fields to one field was an equivalent of over 1,600 millimetres of rainfall. So the logistics of creating these different treatments is challenging as well. At UCD, they've recently extended their experimental farm. So this image is really the experimental farm. The red line is new land they've bought. And in UCD, there's a project called Smart Grass, which is looking at having greater biodiversity in pastures. So not just having monocultures of perennial ryegrass, but incorporating clovers, herbs. And we've seen huge impacts in terms of really everything from soil to society. So we have projects, this new land is being turned over for permanent long-term grassland studies to look at everything from soil to society. So by having lots of plant species in pastures, potentially we've got benefits for the soil, greater infiltration rates, greater soil biodiversity. This then feeds back into better production, so more fodder for the animals to eat, and then this links on to healthier cows or sheep, because it's like anything, if we just eat one crop, we won't be very healthy. If we have a balanced diet, the cows will be healthier. So we've seen with the animal scientists improvements in time to slaughter, how often they have to see the vet. So it's a full scale, a full spectrum really of soil to society that we're interested in UCD. Obviously money is important, and the Irish economy in 2008, it was the death of the Celtic tiger, so being able to secure research funding has been difficult since 2008 onwards. It's only really 2015 we've started seeing improvement, but you can see that even in this time period that it was tough to find money. The Irish government, so this is only the Department of Agriculture, Food and the Marine. Here are just some examples. This list isn't exhaustive of projects looking at plant phenotyping and the money that's been set aside. This is probably because agriculture is such a key part of the Irish economy that it has to keep funded, and it's the best way to come out of a recession is to keep funding agriculture, especially plant phenotyping. One other difference we've seen is we have another research council called Science Foundation Ireland. They typically used to just fund basic and fundamental research. We now see that they're funding more applied agricultural research. So since I've started working at UCD, I've managed to leverage over 2 million for plant phenotyping equipment. So in this first call, this was PICS, so Physiology Infrastructure for Crop Stress. This is just some of the equipment that we've managed to obtain. So a high-resolution X-ray CT scanner, an NO analyzer as an early first input of plant stress, humidity chamber for growing fungal endophytes, hyperspectral drone with LiDAR capabilities, and a HAL-drip harvester with NIR capabilities. The aim of PICS is really to simultaneously look at biotic and abiotic stresses, because in Ireland we have the plants, like all plants would simultaneously undergo these stresses. Because of the themes that Ireland's interested in, this translation from field to the lab, to the forest or the glasshouse, this is all really crucial. So being able to kit out our fields with plenty of modern technologies will be important. Another research infrastructure grant that UCD has is a second CT scanner, a much larger one, a Vitamex scanner, coupled with state-of-the-art climate-controlled LED light growth chambers. So this is a collaboration between UCD and Trinity College Dublin that's combining the expertise that Jennifer McElwain has in controlled environment chambers with in-soil root imaging. Just briefly, a few more examples. At Cork, they do lots of studies on Arabidopsis imaging, looking at the effect of UV on plant stress responses, mainly Astrid Ringler and Marcel Janssen. In Belfast, they have the Institute for Global Food Security. So this is an advanced analytical site looking at next generation sequencing, has high-powered computing facilities as well. Paul Williams at Belfast is looking at really chemically mapping the rhizosphere. I'll just flick through these really quickly. Again, at Belfast, we have Caroline Merhag looking at the plant holobiome response and trying to look at the responses to soil-based stresses. So really, just to summarise, I rapidly ran through that. So if anyone has any questions afterwards, please come speak to me afterwards. In terms of what's next for the PPN Island, our aim is to strengthen and expand the reach of our PPN, so gain more members from those disciplines that we might be lacking in. UCD's recently just got a 10 million euro grant to work with computer scientists and crop scientists and an industry partner. So really, we want to be as multidisciplinary as we can, start the emphasis project, use our network to leverage national funding, so raise the profile of plant phenotyping at a national level, but also a European level, and just highlight the excellent work that we have going on in Ireland. So my email's there. This is a recently established Twitter page, if anyone would like to follow us. And if anyone's got any questions, maybe come talk to me over coffee. Thank you.